So y'all, today is 2/20/2021. It's 12:05. Today, Randy and Brenda left in their van early, and I took a shower late. Didn't get outside until about 5 o'clock. It got dark at 5:45. So at 5:05, well, like back up 15 minutes, 10 minutes before this, Claudine left. And then when she comes back, her car comes back. Randy's driving it. And it is just before, it is right as I walk out the door, they pull up. Exactly as I walk out the door. This kind of stuff happens all the time. Watch. He looks into the backyard. Now, let me stop this for a second. I believe that Randy has a camera in my house. Him and Gilman shared it, I believe. Watch him. He looks in the backyard. Let me stop it. I believe that Randy has an app that he sees what I do in my house. When I'm getting ready to walk out the door, he knows it. And so he knew, if that's true, he knew that I was getting ready to walk out the door. And he's very calculated with everything he does. This happens all the time, and it's been happening for years. Several years. It took a long time for me to figure out what he was doing. So, if he did see inside my house and he knows I'm about to walk out the door, that I'm getting ready, and he didn't look at that device in front of Claudine, he was just in the car with her a short amount of time. So he gets out of the car, he's got the dogs. But watch. He walks to the back of the car and looks in the backyard to see if I'm in the backyard. And then he goes over to his truck and begins to look at that device. That happens all the time too. Watch this. So somebody looks like his daughter, their daughter, Robbie, comes up. Somebody does, but when the person gets out, it looks like a man. And they go on in the house. But let's say Randy, hypothetical situation. He's in the car with Claudine, and so he doesn't let her see that he's got a device. But he has already looked at it just before she picked him up somewhere. And he knows that I'm about to come out the door, because this is how he calculates it. Okay, so he walks to the back of the car and looks in the backyard to see if I'm in the backyard, because let's say he can't look at it in front of Claudine. So he doesn't know if I've already made it out the back door. And he looks to see if I'm in the backyard. And then he comes over to with his device and begins to look at it to see if I'm outside. Now see, I hear their voices. Claudine's gets at the back of the car, and I have just opened the door here at the front door, and I'm standing on the porch. I hear their voices, so I stop, and I'm like, dang, just as I'm walking out the door, here comes Randy. I mean, so he stands in the truck and looks at this device. And he keeps looking, and he keeps looking. So Claudine goes to walk in. That's either Claudine or Brenda, I can't tell. So there goes Randy, and he's walking. He goes up underneath the carport. And Claudine or Brenda or whoever that is goes in. Did he just message this guy and he comes by? Because I'm standing on the front porch when that guy comes by. We don't get that much traffic here. But that looks like it may be Brenda. So they came in Claudine's car. I don't know what's going on as far as that goes. But I'm about to walk out the door, and I'm trying to get my phone turned on, the camera turned on to video, in case Randy does something stupid. So I walk over to get my big long rake, because I'm going to try to burn that stump some more tonight. And I haven't walked over there yet, but watch this. As I walk over, Randy comes running out from underneath the carport and is walking up the steps. There I am. Watch him. I'm going over towards the rake. And I get the rake, and I'm about to go around the privacy fence this way to the backyard. So evidently Randy is underneath the carport watching what I'm doing. I think he's got a camera on me too outside that he can see me in. Even though I got this privacy fence up to try to give me some privacy, he somehow sees what I'm doing over here. So he's probably got a camera down in the woods and is watching me there too. Because just as I start to walk around, he's nowhere to be seen. But just as I start to walk around the privacy fence, he's right there. There he is. Okay, see, because I'm about to walk around there. I'm walking around my car, and he's up on the porch. He wants to be seen, so that's what he does. He tries to be seen. I've got my rake, and I'm going to the backyard. That rake is really long for the fire, for me to rearrange the wood that's burning or whatever. It's a long, I took a pipe and put on there a long time ago, had it welded. And it's just very long, so I can reach long ways for things. Instead of putting another wooden handle on it that was expensive, I just had that welded to my rake. But he's just got to be seen. Just as I walk out the door, they pull in the driveway. This man is very disturbed, and he does this kind of stuff all the time. It's as if he is obsessed with me. As, like girlfriend, like stalking, like you're intrigued with me. You want to know what I'm doing and what I'm doing in my house and what I'm doing outside. And, when I'm outside, what are you doing over there? When I'm coming home, running out the door to see, to be seen by me, standing in the darkness watching me. He's just obsessed with me and what I do. I don't know why his wife puts up with it. It's kind of weird. It's very strange and bizarre that she wouldn't look the other way, but she does. I don't know if she knows that he's got a camera inside the house on me, and that's one reason why he would not let her meet me at the church with two other Christian women at Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall. I wanted to sit down and talk to her, and that's probably, she was going to do it, and then she went home, talked to him, and he said no, and that's probably why he doesn't want her to meet with me and work it out and be peaceful and talk about it, is because I'm going to tell her that I think that they have a camera inside the house, that they're watching me. Randy is very disturbed. And see, he was living across there when I was living at home before, when I was living with Mother before she died from 1993 to 1998. He was living over there with Brenda. I never had any inkling that he was a creep and a weirdo that he is. And now that I think about it, he was obsessed at that point. He copied things I did. If I did something in the yard, he had to compete and do the same thing, or do it better, or do it bigger, or buy something bigger. I mean, I got a little bitty wind chime on the front porch, And they buy this great big huge one and put it on their front porch. I mean, just whatever I do, they're obsessed with it. They got to outdo it or do it or, have better or whatever. We had a little tent thing in the backyard, and I'm pretty sure Gilman tore it down. So Randy buys a bigger one and puts it in his backyard. I mean, whatever somebody, he's just obsessed with what, and covetous, what other people do. He's got to outdo it. And there's many other situations like that I can tell you about that he had to outdo whatever we were doing or bought or flowers we had or something. He's got to, got to do the same thing and, outdo it. I dug in the side of the embankment on my side of my house, so he digs in the side of his embankment. I mean, just whatever I do, he's obsessed to do the same thing. And so I go to the backyard and I'm starting this fire, and I'm sure he was watching me from the front picture window there.